welcome to the latest episode of Tom Talk Live. We're so very happy the Rangers are up 2-0 on the Capitals edition. I want to do a Tom Talk shout out to the Center for Prevention and Counseling. Located in Newton, New Jersey and operating since 1973, the center's mission is to promote hope, health, and recovery among all people by creating an environment that is safe and free from the effects of substance abuse and addiction. They provide substance use prevention, evaluation, counseling, and recovery support services to Sussex County children, teens, adults, and families, regardless of background or socioeconomic status. For more information, go to centerforprevention.org today. We have some events coming up on Saturday, May 4th. We have our big Recycling Services Day. Check out our website for more information on all the activities going on that day in Newton. Plans are currently underway for the annual Memorial Day Parade and Ceremony, Newton Day Summer Movies at Memory Park, which will be Paw Patrol and Barbie, very exciting, and our summer concert series at the college, which is being co-sponsored with our friends from Andover Township, Greene, and Hampton. We'll be having our ribbon cutting on Monday, both for our new playground equipment at Pine Street Park and the opening of our new animal kennel. Bow to the wow, wow. In the last episode of Tom Talk Live, we had the president and CEO of Zufall Health, Fran Palm. Today, we continue our flagrant attempt for high ratings, social media influence, and second-round playoff tickets at the Garden by interviewing the tag team of excellence involved in managing and leading the Center for Prevention and Counseling, Tina Owie and Michele Wolf. Great to have you both on our program today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Tom.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. And thanks for that welcome.
Free advertising. All right, tell us what you do for a living. Who wants to start? What do you do?
Well, I'm the executive director here,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm pretty much responsible for overseeing the overall operations of the agency. And my favorite part is really working with the team and empowering them to take care of themselves so that they can be really great stewards towards working for the people that we serve in our community.
And how about you, Tina? What do you do here?
I'm the Director of Prevention Services here at the agency, and I oversee an amazing team of 23 staff who are out in the community on a daily basis, providing prevention programs and services and trainings to our students and to our community members throughout the county.
All right, let's start. How long have you been here? What did you do prior to?
Oh, geez. Okay, so I have been here at Center for Prevention and Counseling. I'm coming up on my 21st year. I've been in this position for almost 10 years. When I first hired on in 2003, I hired on as a youth coordinator, and I was providing education in regards to reducing tobacco use among kids. And at that time, it was combustible cigarettes. Completely different now with e-cigarettes, but that's how I started here. And then I just worked my way, held different positions, and here I am now. Prior to that, I worked at a grocery store for 13 years.
Wow.
And I tell you what, I learned so many people skills working in the Grand Union at the time.
I'm sure.
And that was through high school and college.
How about you, Michele?
Well, I've only been here 10 months. I started in June of 2023. And prior to that, I was the executive director of another nonprofit in Pennsylvania for 26 years that worked with victims of crime, particularly domestic and sexual violence, human trafficking, and stalking. And it dealt with a lot of trauma and an overlap with substance use disorders as people tried to numb their pain from their trauma. And that's what led me into the field of then wanting to work with people that suffer with substance use disorders.
And how did your upbringing, for either of you, how did upbringing impact education and career choices?
So when I was growing up, I loved everything outside. I loved the outdoors. And I really thought when I entered into college, I would pursue a career in environmental science. So I took a couple of courses, and when you're a freshman, you get bumped out of a lot of things. So then I took a couple of electives in the community health world. And I really liked the class that I had. I remember the professor, Professor Lever. He was amazing. And then the same thing happened the following semester. So I took another public health course, and then I ended up just changing my major to public health and ended up graduating with a degree in community health from Montclair State University.
How about you?
Well, growing up, I wanted to be a pediatrician. And I was just telling the kids this for take your child to work day. But I realized as I was in college, I did only 2 years of pre-med. It wasn't the medicine that I liked, it was the helping. So I had to really reflect upon that and figure out which helping field, which is what led me to working with victims of crime. But my dad always told me from when I was a youngster that success is doing what you love, and to do whatever that is that you would do if money wasn't an option or an issue at all. If money was solid across the board, what would you do? And that's how I found myself in a nonprofit, working with people, serving people, really.
And if you could go back in time, what advice would you give to the younger version of Michele?
To put family first always. I also do hospice as a volunteer, and no one ever says they wish they worked more. They always wish they had more time for their families. So just when you get into the workplace, for the younger folks, to just start out knowing what your priorities are. You can have a really healthy balance, but it's really important because later in life, no one's ever gonna say, I wish I worked more. They're gonna say, I wish I spent more time with my family. So.
How about you? What advice would you give?
So I would definitely be a little bit kinder to my parents when I was growing up, and be more appreciative of
Were
what
you the
they
rebel?
offered.
Were you the rebel child?
I wasn't a rebel, no. But my parents, we never went without. We were a little spoiled, I think. And thinking back, I have my own 2 kids now, and I reflect on the fact that I never really said thank you, please, or hey mom, dad, I really appreciate all these things that you would do for me, and I would definitely go back and spend more quality time as a young person with my mom and dad.
And what's your achievement that you're proud of? Life or career? Anything that jumps out at both of you that you consider to be a great achievement in your career or life?
So it's funny that Michele was just talking about work and life balance, right? And I was thinking about this question a little bit, and I feel like an accomplishment, my best accomplishment right now, would be the fact that I feel like where I am in my personal life is a good balance between work and life. I'm a full-time mom, love it, but I also have a full-time career. And I think many professionals really, really struggle with this. And I feel blessed that I've been able to work in an agency for 20 years that really puts family first. And not only do we put family first, but I'm able to be employed to do work that aligns with my personal values and helps me to create healthier communities in which my family and my kids are residing in. So I feel like it's a win-win, and I'm very, very grateful for the paths and the people that I've met to get to where I am, and really I'm happy to say that I'm truly satisfied with where I've landed here at age 48-ish.
How about you, Michele? Thank you for sharing that.
I have one for each, and the career one actually goes back to what would you tell your younger self. And I've had to work really hard on this, but to not strive for perfection, to strive for excellence. And especially for women coming up into the workforce, we always think we have to be perfect, and that's just never going to happen and causes a lot of anxiety. So it's really about striving for excellence in all that you do. And along with that is my children are adults now, and they've turned out to be just wonderful human beings, very compassionate and giving, and they've learned speaking of balance, they've learned a really good balance and how to stay true to themselves and operate with integrity. And while I can't take credit for that, for any of their achievements, I am proud that with all the stresses of being a full-time mom and being a full-time employee, that I was able to raise them in such a way that they know how to give back to their community.
Right. Any do-overs? I'll give you guys a do-over. Is there a project or life decision or choice that in hindsight, now that you have wisdom and all the years in professional life and personal life, that maybe you could have handled differently?
Well, I would have contributed to a 403B a lot earlier.
Practical, okay. I understand.
That's what I would do. And I try to encourage the younger ones to do it, but they're the same as I was. They're not going to do it yet. But I would have done that different.
All right. The value of compound.
Now I'm trying to catch up.
Compound interest. How about you? Anything?
So my do-over really would be, oh my goodness, I think just spending quality time with those that are important to me. Growing up.
All right, let's talk organization. So a typical day here in the 8-story building or whatever it was that we walked up. It felt like 8 stories to my hand.
I know. My assistant says the 17 flights of stairs.
Right.
There's not 17 flights of stairs.
So what's it like being here day to day? What do you do? Tell us.
Well, there is no typical day. And that's the case in almost any nonprofit, really. There's no typical day. So on the days where I have a pretty clear schedule and I think, oh, I'm going to catch up on emails, I'm going to catch up on the piles of my desk, those are the days it does not happen because everything else unexpected happens on the days I think it's going to be clear. So there is no typical day. It's a very busy organization because we serve such a large community. We have so many different programs, which Tina might talk more about that, but it's just very busy. 4 o'clock, I think it's only 10 or 11, and it's like, boom, it's almost time to get going for the day. It flies by. There really isn't a typical day. It's just super busy, but everybody works with such compassion and energy and passion for what we do that it's just a great place to be.
All right, let's talk programs. Who do you serve? Who do you serve?
So within the prevention world, I can start with the prevention world. So within the prevention field, we serve with our 23 staff members. We serve all of our communities, and we serve our school districts. I'm happy to say, or proud to say, that last year over 3,000 kids in our school districts received evidence-based programming, so evidence-based curriculum, which means that they participated and completed either a 6, 8, or 15 session primary prevention program, which is really amazing because schools value what we bring to them. They understand the importance of teaching kids healthy coping skills, teaching kids ways to manage their time, and so I'm really proud of that. So our team is out in the field doing those programs. I oversee them with my coworker Ashley Kane, and when I'm not overseeing and helping Ashley out, we have 2 coalitions, and that's where I primarily focus a lot of my attention, is overseeing our coalition work. We have the Wellkill Valley Community Coalition and the Coalition for Healthy and Safe Communities. So the job of our coalitions is really to look at prevention from the macro level. So looking at policies, looking at procedures, looking at systems that are put into place to help safeguard kids regarding substance use and other behaviors that might be negative for them. So our coalitions really work in tandem with the direct service program that we do in our school districts.
And is everything out of Newton? Do you have other locations or facilities, or?
So our prevention work is throughout Sussex County, but we actually have 2 really large grants that cover northern New Jersey. So we cover 7 counties, and that's our school health grant, and that is also our Tobacco Free for Healthy New Jersey grant. So we cover the northern portion of New Jersey. But that's our prevention work. I think it's also important to share the work that we do with treatment and recovery services, because the folks that we serve in prevention, it's primary prevention. So it's before individuals start using, right? We're trying to prevent the onset of use. But if you look at our community and the folks that we serve in our counseling and our recovery services, these are families and individuals within the county that are impacted by substance use disorder one way or another. So they might be here receiving counseling services for their substance use disorder, or a family member might be with a recovery coach, trying to help them through, the issues that are surrounding their addiction. So we really do, we have the continuum of care here at our agency, and it's really wonderful because not many of our friends in the other parts of the states have all 3 components in this field.
I'm going to deviate from the question. So is there, I hate to say it this way, but is there a substance that is really driving a lot of the addiction? Maybe years ago it was alcohol, then maybe was it smoking, or is it more vaping? Is it cannabis? Like, what's driving a lot of the challenges that people have right now, would you say? Or
yeah, so that's like a 2-part question there. Because with our young people, we're most concerned with the substances that they start with first, and that typically that's tobacco use or your e-cigarettes, marijuana, and also alcohol. Those are your 3 top substances that young people use. So when we're educating, we're teaching life skills, we're teaching coping skills, And then we also teach the education regarding those substances. But in terms of our adults, what we're really concerned about, and even our teenagers, is opioid use, right? And counterfeit pills that we're seeing out there that have fentanyl in them. So that's what we're very, while we're always going to focus on primary prevention with those other substances, we're doing a lot of education regarding opioid use and counterfeit pills and fentanyl.
Right. And let's talk about the center, because you were talking about how much you appreciate being here for so long. What makes the center so caring and compassionate? Why is it such a great place either to work or just as a provider in the community?
It's our team. Our team is highly compassionate and passionate about the work that we do. So the people that work here are just excellent towards those that we serve. And we've created a very trauma-informed, stigma-free environment, not only for our staff, but for our participants and our clients, so that they can come to a place where they don't feel judged. Because too often folks that want to get better, let's say they're not ordered by court necessarily, and they just want to stop their addiction and they want to get some help, they don't always do that just because of the shame that's involved, and they feel so judged. So we want to make sure that our environment is welcoming and stigma-free so that they can come in with no judgment and get whatever services it is that they need.
And are there providers outside the area that you follow or admire? Are there other agencies that you work with that support your mission and the people that you serve?
Sure. So every county has an agency that is similar to ours, meaning they have a prevention agency. And those prevention agencies are part of a larger network called the New Jersey Prevention Network. And they're really the hub, in my opinion, they're the hub for prevention work, for recovery work. They even have expanded for treatment. They really are the agency that is able to bring all the different sectors of the community together, all the different sectors of the the continuum of care avenues together, so that we can address substance use from all different areas. So I love New Jersey Prevention Network. The director there is Diane Litterer, who is a role model to me, and she's just amazing, and I get a lot from her and the work that we do here. Again, not only in prevention, but our recovery and our counseling field.
For either of you, one last question. Is there an underserved population that you haven't tapped into, or that as time goes on, either age or demographic, that the agency has to pivot or focus on? I'm just curious if are there people out there that you just haven't tapped into in terms of services, or is there maybe more of an inherent challenge to reaching them?
I don't know about that so much, but the gap that we have right now is a lack of sober living facilities for folks. So that doesn't really have to do with the demographics so much, but we did have Oxford houses in the community, and we don't any longer. So there isn't a place for folks to go for that. So that's something, I don't really know what we will do with that necessarily in the future, but it is a recently identified gap for people in our community.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's anything you want to touch on with that?
I don't, I can't share the statistics out loud. I don't have them off the top of my head, but anecdotally, what we're hearing from our partners is an increase in our older adults that are misusing alcohol or their prescription medications, and having accidents or getting behind the wheel. And so we've had more calls for services for our 65 plus population as it relates to alcohol use and other substances.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. All right, let's do some fun questions before we wrap up. All right, make Tina go first. All right, so if aliens landed in front of you in exchange for anything you desired, you could have any position on their planet, what would you want? And you can't say executive director.
No, I'm actually totally going off.
Okay.
Off
script here?
No. So first, I would have to make sure from the aliens, our alien friends, that there are seasons on this planet,
so
right?
Okay.
I love the outdoors, so I would love to be able to be an activities coordinator for my town and the aliens.
Okay.
But with the caveat that all of the kids are able to participate in all the seasonal activities and not have to worry about money. So whether that's skiing or golf or soccer or boating. And my payment can be coffee and chocolate and smiles.
All right, how about you? That's tough to beat. That's actually a
Oh,
pretty,
for
good,
that
pretty
question,
good
I
answer.
didn't even think about
No?
that question. No, I was thinking about the shipwreck question.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's pivot to the shipwreck question. If you had to be shipwrecked on an island and all your human needs were taken care of, what 2 items would you want to have with you and
Well,
why?
they're not really items. Since I have 3 children, I can't pick 2, so I'd probably want to take 2 girlfriends.
Okay.
That's like that was a super simple answer. But everything I was thinking of before, then
Yeah,
I
you
kept looking
can't.
back. You say human needs, so I don't need sunscreen. I don't need
Yeah,
water. So
yeah.
I take people.
And some people take their pets and leave their spouse behind. We've had that answer as well. How about you? What would you need on the island?
Oh, can we go to the next question?
Come on.
I'm sorry. Oh, so I would need Tom. I would need on the island some good music
Music.
for sure.
That's fine.
And
That's fine. All right. Let's jump to that. What's your favorite band?
sweets. The Eagles.
Ah.
Absolutely.
You ever see them in concert?
Many times.
Okay.
Many times. I saw the last show before COVID
Mm.
that they did, and then I saw the first show post COVID that they did at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, they're amazing.
You like Vince Gill singing?
I do.
Not bad,
Yeah,
not bad.
Yes.
It's not
I
bad.
do.
All right.
Yeah.
Favorite sports team?
I'd have to pick the Rangers because my family's like the Rangers.
Wow.
And the Jets.
Oof.
Sorry.
That's tough. That's a tough combination. Although they will be better this year. So lock it down. Tom Talk, lock it down. Superhero.
Wonder Woman. Linda Carter.
Classic. Favorite movie?
Oh, geez Louise.
Come on. gotta be
This
something.
is corny, but Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Favorite cartoon?
The original Bugs Bunny.
How about you? Favorite cartoon?
Bluey.
Wow. Did you meet Bluey? You know Bluey loves Newton and Bluey shows up to all of our events.
Oh,
so,
no, I did
yeah,
not
you
know
should,
that.
should
I
meet
didn't
Bluey.
know that.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Favorite food?
I like French bread and baked brie. I could eat it every meal.
Favorite movie?
The Notebook. It's kind of sappy, I know, but.
Nah, it's good. Favorite superhero?
Well, I was thinking of real people because I thought, okay, do I have to pick a cartoon superhero?
No.
So I really like Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Gloria Steinem. Those would be my superheroes.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Rutgers. Rutgers, great. Sports team?
The Ravens.
Wow. Really?
I'm from Baltimore originally.
Fair point.
Yeah, and
Okay.
my whole family's from
That's
there,
fair.
so we're really into that. Yeah.
Musical band or act?
I like Jelly Roll and Lainey Wilson.
Wow,
To pick between the two would be really difficult. So kind of country all the way.
that's fine. And what do you love about the town of Newton? Our last question.
I like the Copper Kettle and their lobster bisque.
Okay. Wow. All right, we'll have
Give
applause.
them a little plug.
We have applause. What about you? What do you love about the town?
I just love the hometown feel. I worked on the green here for 20 years. I remember coming here as a kid with my parents to there used to be an Electrolux store on Spring Street, right? My mom has an Electrolux. We would always bring it there to get fixed. Now we bring it to Denville. And also there was a sewing store. So yeah,
Hmm.
and a jewelry store that we used to visit. So yeah, I just love the hometown feel from when I was a kid and now here being on Spring Street.
All right, thank you, Tina and Michelle, for being good sports and legendary guests on Tom Talk Live. That's a wrap. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram for further updates on Town of Newton events, happenings, and more. Russo out.